Good morning. This is Rabbi Zalman of the BHITerrorWatch. Today is the eve of the real Shabbat. Now, we have a special, stern, harsh warning to those of you black Hebrew Israelites, so-called Hebrew Israelites, as you are not Israel. As you foolishly, unauthorized, quote unquote, celebrate our Yom Tov. Our Yom Tov. The Feast of Hanukkah. You ought to know that when one of your brothers, Mr. Mark Lamont Hill, spoke out against our land in defense of those disgusting Palestinians, he was properly given a righteous reprimand and was taken off of CNN, which we don't care about CNN. I think CNN is an abomination, even though I could care less about CNN. But this is a big warning to you as you foolishly celebrate our Yom Tov. You will not mock the real children of Israel. We are certain that you people that foolishly take on our name, our heritage, our identity, and you call us the thieves on your YouTube channels, on your street preaching, which is against the tradition of the real Israel, the real Jews, the real Jewish people. Your foolishness is likened unto Mr. Hill's disgusting comments against our homeland. And let this be a warning to you. You go ahead and preach your hatred of the real Israel. Let me tell you this. You will be reprimanded just like your brother, Mark Lamont Hill. Certainly, you will pay the price of the 50, 60, 100-year hate mongering, trying to unite blacks Latinos, and Native Americans in this vanity you call Black Hebrew Israelism, you will not prevail. The body of Israel will not stop until you are taken out of the streets, you are taken off of YouTube, and I urge every body that is true Israel, echt Israel, after Shabbat, to take down, to flag, and to leave reputable comments, leave reputation comments on every Black Hebrew Israelite channel. Doesn't matter, Great Millstone, the ISUPK, the IOIC, GOCC, BOCC, we're naming names. We're coming after you. The BHITerrorWatch, the Black Hebrew Israelite Terror Watch, will not stop until every one of you Black Hebrew Israelites who rape our culture, and you threaten to rape our culture, our yontifs, our holidays, our Shabbats. You preach hate, and you bring darkness. You teach confusion of doctrine. I had a conversation with a gentleman who just said that you aren't even Hamites. You're the sons of Cain. You are not Israel. That's one thing. It could be possible that you are not even the children of Ham. As we know that the Hamites were the Egyptians, and they built an empire. The mentality of your people, the blacks, the Schwarzes, that's what you are, because you act like Schwarzes. You are not. You could never rise a nation. Every other group, from the Chinese to the Arabs to the Europeans to the Russians to the English, the French, to this nation of America, to our state of Israel. We all have historically, every one of us, and built nations, built empires, built lands of historic renown. What have you built? What have black people built? Who are your leaders? Jesse Jackson, Al Sharpton, these abominations. Who are they? They are nothing. You steal from each other. You even put people like Tupac Shakur, Biggie Smalls, these thug gangsters, and you turn them into leaders. How dare you call yourselves the nation of Israel? You don't even have a united group. Your unions are vanity. Your race acts of a disgrace. What are your fruits? You have no fruits. The black Hebrew Israelites, as a nation and a religious, you're nothing. It's time that the real nation of Israel, the Jewish people, brothers, sisters, the true Ahyam of Israel, rise up and defeat every one of these black Hebrew Israelites. This is the real call to action. You have dishonored the name, you have dishonored Hashem, you have dishonored who you really are, which is not Israel. You are a paleo Noahide people. You do not even have the intellectual you do not have any intellectual know-it-all. Know how to really be the chosen people. Look at your neighborhoods. Look at everybody else's neighborhood. Look at an Asian neighborhood. Look at a white neighborhood. Look at a Spanish neighborhood that's not of the gang-banging culture. Sure, there are challenges throughout every one of these neighborhoods, but none as notorious as the black and the black-inspired neighborhoods. You are the reason why everything in our country is on the decline. From the music, which I have to say to Commanding General Yohana of the ISUPK, you defend to the T, and you say, this is my culture, this is my culture. Well, you know what? This is what your culture has led to. You want to know why you have a cesspool in Chicago? It's because of your black music. You people are the reason why America is in the condition that it is in now. And I should say, as an ever-Trumper, that's the reason why you have the kind of government that you complain against. You created that government. Because the person that occupied the White House before it did not do anything for you. Because you acted like miscreants. And you black Hebrew Israelites were front and center. You may have not agreed with former President Obama, but you were right with him on basic black liberation theology, which is not of Hashem. You have denied your place because you have elected to deny your place. And you are having to pay. You're paying in Chicago, you're paying in St. Louis, you're paying in New York, in Los Angeles, in Phoenix, in Philadelphia, in Dallas, in Miami. You're paying in North Carolina, in South Carolina, and Boston, and everywhere around the world. Because you cling to your carnality, your culture. Jewish culture, everybody knows, is a light to the world, is a holy culture. And we command respect. Nobody respects you because you don't respect yourself. Black Hebrew Israelites, if you want to be respected, you have to respect yourselves. Your little splinter camps, your groups, your organizations, you're nothing. And the reason why you're nothing is because you have hard hearts towards your own brethren. By comparison, an Orthodox Jew and a Reformed Jew and a conservative Jew, a Mizrahi Jew, an Ashkenazi Jew, a Sephardic, we can get together, we can set aside our differences. But you have camps, groups, organizations. One that likes to use the name of Yeshua, that you call Yeshua. The other likes to use a bastardized version of the name. Another that likes to engage in raping children. Another that commands people to systematically pay money every month, every week, and fleeces their constituencies so that their leaders can drive big cars. You have too much confusion between the doctrines. These black Hebrew Israelites, you black Hebrew Israelites, you're nothing. You're nothing. There's no big uprising of black Hebrew Israelites. The truth is not with you. Maybe with your little organizations that may have YouTube groupies, but you're not constituting any kind of religious uprising. You're phony, you're fake, you're frauds. The black Hebrew Israelites, and yes, I say black Hebrew Israelites, because who started this? Black people. People whom you denote being the founders of your religion. Gabriel Prosser, Nat Turner, Wentworth Matthew, so-called Abba Bivens. They are the founders of your religion, and they are the people of the truth, or as you call them, the truth. You're going to have a lot to pay for. Your vain religion will not be tolerated. You have denied who you are before Hashem by calling yourself black Hebrew Israelites or Hebrew Israelites. And you, who do not keep the Shabbat, you do not keep the Yontus, you do not keep the respect. You're not a light unto the world, you're carnal. You preach carnality. You preach apocalypticism. You preach a convoluted doctrine that is not the doctrine that was given to Moses, to the prophets. You are not Israel. Through your division, you're not Israel. You're not Israel. And whether you're a camp, whether you're a group, an organization, whether you come out of a certain school or not, whether you're on YouTube or not, whether you preach on the street or not, a black man, a black woman, they could never be a Jew unless their lineage denotes to the real Syrian, Aramaic Jews. Hebrew people are Assyrian, Aramaic, Caucasoid people. How do I say Caucasoid? Because you're Noah landed on Mount Ararat. Where is Mount Ararat? In the Caucasus Mountains. Mountains are of Georgia, Russia. Now, how can you say a Russian Jew cannot be a Jew? How can you not say that a Russian Jew cannot be a Jew? That the Jews of the steppes cannot be the Jews? How can you say that? How can you say that? The Hebrew race came from Syrian, Aramaic peoples. We came from Caucasian peoples. But I'll tell you one thing. The Hebrews could have never, by authentic lineage, been black. And you black Hebrew Israelites, unless you are descended out of the original family of Abram, by blood, you are living a complete lie. And you'll be reprimanded. So as you vainly observe our Shabbats and our Yontifs, take this one thing in mind. You want to be the boss. But you're going to have to pay the cost. To those of you, if you can know your lineage from an authentic Jew, then this does not apply to you. But if you're just some black Hebrew Israelite that's trying to call himself or herself a Hebrew Israelite out of passages of the Christian Bible, which you took from the Christian, then you're telling lies. And that is a Sholem Hashem. And you will be reprimanded. On that, we, the Jewish people, bid you good day, and to our Achim. Shabbat Shalom.
Okay.